Today, we explore how this date completely reshaped our world across five powerful dimensions: culture, education, finance, politics, and technology. This day proves that history never rests. Let's dive into the fascinating interconnected events of this date that continue to influence how we live, think, and innovate today. So, without much further ado, let's go.
Welcome to today's deep dive. Normally looking at a calendar is, well, it feels entirely random. A Tuesday in March is just a Tuesday.
Right, yeah. We kind of expect time to just be evenly distributed, comfortably mundane.
Exactly. But then you look at July 17th, and it's like suddenly the dice are loaded. Our mission today for you is unpacking the weird historical gravity of this one single date using a stack of sources from, historical archives to Fast Company articles.
Yeah, it acts as this bizarre recurring pivot point. It's where the old world violently collapses or, unexpectedly mutates into the new one.
And the sheer gravity of this date across cultural and political and even technological history is just staggering.
It really is.
So let's start with July 17th, 1918, the basement in Yekaterinburg. The Bolsheviks execute Tsar Nicholas II and his family.
Basically permanently snapping a centuries-old dynasty right there in one night.
Right, an entire era just gone.
Yeah.
And then you fast forward exactly 18 years down to the actual day, July 17th, 1936.
Yeah, a military coup sparks the Spanish Civil War, which, according to the archives, was just a brutal collision of
It's
absolutes.
just completely tearing the country apart.
Exactly. You had the left-leaning Republicans, so socialists and anarchists, fighting the nationalist rebels, which were conservatives, monarchists, fascists. Just to report impartially on the sources here, it was incredibly polarized.
It's total demolition of the old order.
Yeah.
But looking at these events, aren't they essentially just local regime changes?
Yeah.
Like, brutal, sure, but isolated to their own borders. Why do they hold so much weight for the rest of the 20th century?
Well, because of the mechanism of the proxy war. Like
Right.
Spain and Russia weren't just local power struggles, they were essentially
Oh,
laboratories.
laboratories for the bigger powers.
Right. When those local power structures evaporated, they created this massive vacuum. Foreign governments used these local wars to test new weapons and fund proxy armies.
Kind of trial running the ideological blueprints of communism versus fascism.
Yeah, the exact blueprints that would eventually tear the whole globe apart.
Which brings us right to the aftermath of that tear. July 17th, 1945, the Potsdam Conference.
Where Truman, Stalin, and Churchill sit down and literally redraw the map of Europe.
Right, they shrink Germany by 25% and basically sketch out the borders of the Cold War.
Yeah, they were building massive geopolitical walls.
But then July 17th is also the day we decide to, I guess, cross those exact same walls. Because you skip to 1975 on the same date, and the U.S. Apollo and Soviet Soyuz spacecraft dock in orbit.
The very first time those two bitter rivals linked up in space.
It's like a literal cosmic handshake after a decades-long staring contest. And the poetic justice here is crazy because the very first photograph ever taken of a star, the star Vega at Harvard Observatory, was also snapped on July 17th back in 1850.
Wow, 1850. The contrast is really what makes this date so heavy. I mean, the same rival nations who carved the Earth into paranoid zones at Potsdam found themselves forced into this symbolic collaboration just 30 years later.
Forced to look up.
Exactly. When terrestrial politics reached a nuclear stalemate, technological progress forced them to look upward for a win.
So you have all this heavy existential dread, right? Regime collapses, atomic ultimatums. It makes sense that the public eventually hits a breaking point. Enter July 17th, 1955.
Walt Disney opens Disneyland?
Yes. A $17 million, 60-acre engineered utopia.
Even though the opening day was, well, a logistical nightmare, the asphalt was literally melting and trapping people's shoes.
Oh, wow. A total meltdown for the 15,000 guests.
Literally melting, yeah.
But to play devil's advocate here, is Disneyland really a psychological reaction to existential dread? From a financial perspective, wasn't Disney just capitalizing on the post-war economic boom? Like pure capitalist opportunism creating the experience economy?
Well, the financial motivation was certainly there, sure. But the reason the experience economy took off so explosively is psychological. Consider what the public had just survived.
Right, the real world was messy and violent.
Exactly, and unpredictable. Disneyland offered this hermetically sealed reality. When the world is under constant threat of nuclear annihilation, people will gladly pay a premium for guaranteed safety and magic.
And that appetite for manufactured magic is only getting bigger. Like, Fast Company just highlighted this brand new $50 million, 35,000 square foot magic venue built in Chicago. We are still pouring massive capital into these immersive escape rooms.
Because the fundamental human need hasn't changed. The heavier reality gets, the more elaborate the escapism needs to be. It's a collective coping mechanism.
So the legacy of July 17th jumps from bloody revolutions to cosmic link-ups and multi-million-dollar theme parks. But there was one final, almost surreal twist in our sources for you to think about today.
Oh, the digital footprint one.
Yeah, today, July 17th, is globally celebrated as World Emoji Day.
Right, because of the calendar emoji.
Exactly. Tech giants use this specific date to roll out new digital pictographs because July 17th happens to be the date permanently stamped on the standard calendar emoji.
That is wild.
It really is. You have a date marked by the violent end of dynasties, atomic ultimatums, and the launch of the space age, and it has slowly morphed into a global celebration of the face with tears of joy icon. Just something to ponder the next time you drop a smiley face in a text.
Hi viewers, family and friends. How did you like the content of this video? Like the video and subscribe to the channel. Please write in the comments your name and the place you are watching from. Since our viewing family is spread all over the world, it will be nice to know which city and the country you are watching from, so I can say hello to you. Science and technology. Reading and listening to the historical accomplishments on this date of those who have gone before us, I, as a professional engineer with interest in structural engineering, energy-efficient buildings, ICF construction, and as Google Docs expert with interest in spreadsheet-based solutions, draw inspiration to ask of myself the million-dollar question. What would I accomplish today? Think about the Japanese practice of Kaizen. Let me know in the comments, what would you accomplish today? Your subscribing to the channel inspires me to post more such videos. Thanks for your patronage. See you in the next video. Sincerely, Yogi Anand.